Sorry.
Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of TV is Our Real Mom. I'm Dave,
I'm Katie.
and in today's episode, we will discuss Survivor Kaoh Rong, Episode 3, and we have a very special guest with us today. Say hello to Cassie. Cassie, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Hungry.
Good.
Hangry.
You're hangry, right?
Mm.
Just got off work and
No, I got
haven't
off
eaten
work
yet.
like 3 hours ago.
Oh, really? Well, why haven't you eaten yet then? I mean.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Well, Cassie is our sister, and she also watches Survivor, so we thought it would be fun to have her on and hear some of her thoughts, because this was a pretty great episode of Survivor, I have to say.
Tier 1.
Tier 1 episode, if that's a thing. I don't know.
You said it was a
I thought
thing.
It was a thing. You kept saying it.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like a thing, so
Yeah,
It
we'll
is
make it
now.
a thing.
Tier
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, so let's dig right into the person who got booted out, Elizabeth. Are you Liz, are you guys happy with the result here?
Yeah, I
Yes.
really liked her.
What?
Cassie really liked her?
I liked her a lot.
That's sarcasm.
Okay, I can't tell.
No, that's sarcasm. I'm happy with Liz getting kicked out, but I kind of wish it would have been Peter. Although I am kind of disappointed because both of those guys are my picks, and they're both epic douchebags. So I'm pretty bummed out about that.
Yeah.
But
Look
I was
at
not
Neil,
sad
though.
to see her go. Yeah, Neil's sitting all right. He's a snake in ice cream pants, which I don't think snakes wear pants or have
That's-
legs.
There are snakes in a lot of pairs of pants, though.
There's
Okay.
snakes hidden in pairs of pants. Is that what you said? What?
That sounds terrible.
That sounds dirty. But yeah, this is we're getting used to having a third person. We're like, whose turn is it to talk? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
Uh,
David, you should delegate who speaks when.
Oh, maybe you should
No,
do
you
that.
guys do your normal thing, and I'll just interrupt. If I
That's what I'm
the
trying to
thing.
avoid, because if this is like a conversation at home, it's like a free for all. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Mm.
I think that's the problem, is we don't have a thing. So
Yeah.
but we'll just let's just go with it. Yeah, Peter and Liz not looking so great anymore.
Yeah, but you kind of sensed you got shades of Peter and Liz being douchebags in the first episode. At least I did. Didn't you guys feel that they were going to be that way?
Go ahead, Cass.
Not to this extent, I guess.
Yeah, they took
But-
it pretty far.
Yeah, I think they got cocky. I think they thought they were running the show, and I think they thought they were going to be safe. So if you have a tendency to have ego, and you're given the chance, it can really, get out of control. And I think that's what happened with them.
Yeah, Peter, as a doctor in the city, an ER doctor, probably is inclined to have a big ego. I think that's just something maybe that's a stereotype, but it really seemed to be true in his case.
But if you're an ER doctor, you have to always be constantly calling the shots, and no one can really argue with you, and all the nurses do what you say, and it's all very quick, and he probably is used to just being the one running things, and he assumed that's what was happening here. But I still don't understand how you can, when you haven't even been to a tribal council, that you can attain that level of cockiness and not realize how it's coming off, or that people might not be looking at you in adoration. How do you not see that?
Yeah, it must be another testament to the brutal conditions out there, because
You can blame them for everything.
Yeah, but that must play into it somewhat. How he's so oblivious of how he's coming off, because he's just really coming off bad in that tribal council. I was getting flashbacks to Jen's tribal council. Actually, it seemed like another implosion. Just someone digging themselves in deep. But I think in his case, I don't think he even realized how how
deep he was in.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a newer thing, like propes, like manipulating them so much at tribal council.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
the questions thing, like it used to be just kind of innocent and like, oh, let's just hear about what's going on. But now I feel like he uses it to like get things out of people and like cause an implosion, like Jenny's.
No, he didn't cause it. He's been doing that shit for years.
I kind of
No,
noticed
he
that
didn't.
too. I kind of noticed that too. I at the end of the day, this is a TV show, and he's the like executive producer of a TV show, and tribal council has become like the biggest drama fest, of the whole show. So I think Probst really does try to like
milk it.
He tries to stir up
Well,
some drama.
Let me
that's
drop
okay,
something on you. Let me
Sure.
drop something on you. Probst has been accused of this since season 10 when Janu quit, and people are asking, did Probst force Janu to quit? So this isn't like this is a new thing, like him prodding people.
No, it's not new.
Well,
No,
but I feel like it's gotten even more intense.
Yeah, I
like,
think it's... Yeah, go on.
Well, I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry. I just feel like it's gradually ramped up. Like, it's gotten more...
Yeah.
I agree. It's gotten more intense over the years. The probsting. The probsting.
The probsting.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
There's our hashtag.
But it's like... Yeah. It's funny to watch a tribal council after last season where you had people who were such pros at tribal council and they knew how to handle Probst. These people have no clue how to handle Probst, and they just like crumble under the pressure. And I think that Peter is super insecure at the heart of it, and that kind of came off with the "It's not your plan, Neil." Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, there's a bit of alphas butting heads there, fighting for territory kind of thing going on, I feel like, with Neil and Peter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
had a point, and I forgot it again.
You gotta hang on to those.
It's gonna be tough. 3
it's
people.
About tribal council.
Yeah.
Keep going. I'll come back to me.
Yeah, it was a pretty entertaining tribal council. I'm really satisfied with the outcome. I love seeing arrogant people get smoked. It's always amazing.
That's a good ingredient for a top or tier 1 episode. And I also want to say that Debbie kicked a lot of ass, not only at like putting this all into play, but also at tribal council. She knew how to handle Probst. She was like, good for him for laying it all out there. Like, she did not crumble under the Probst.
That's what I was going to say.
What's that?
I'm not a fan of this whole new, like, let's reveal our whole plan at tribal council, like in the first or second tribal council we have together. Like,
well, these people
I
are
don't
idiots.
like that at all.
And they're getting probsted. They're getting probst.
They
like
are.
that's part of it. Like, I'm also not as much of a fan of just like, it seems like every tribal council, everybody has to be let in on what's going on. I mean, there has to be a little bit.
Become what was smart. Like, that's not how it works.
It's not.
Where's the sneaking around? Where is
these
the
people don't
around?
know what they're doing yet. They're finding their footing. Like, that was their first tribal council, and brains have only been to 2. They're figuring it out. Like, we just watched a bunch of champions, and now we're watching a bunch of, Class D baseball. That was a bad metaphor. I'm sorry.
Baseball? What about baseball?
I don't know.
What? Okay. I think she means like Bush League. We're watching the Bush League, guys.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean to say I don't find this season entertaining. I find this season is like super surprised me with how good it's been. I really like it so far.
I love it so far. Yeah.
It's just as entertaining watching people learn how to play as it is, watching the pros.
Masters.
Yeah, and there's just good characters. The 3-tribe format is always solid. It's just fun to watch, and there's been like real close challenges, it seems like.
Yeah, that one last night was freaking milliseconds.
Yeah.
Tier 1.
Yeah, tier 1. I just want to say real quick that I totally agree with Catie about Debbie. I am just like a 180 on her, man. Like, she was very impressive in last night's episode. I didn't
she was my
think
pick
she had
to
that
go.
in her. Really?
She was my pick to leave, because I thought everyone hated her and was annoyed with her.
Yeah.
She's like Coach or Shepherd, but she actually knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Can you say that?
She would tone her personality down a little bit because
That's why she's like Coach.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not
crazy.
probably not great for the gameplay, her gameplay to be that annoying, but maybe it is because I mean you got Peter talking last week about she's the perfect person to take with you because she's so annoying, so maybe that's
If she's
part of her
that
game.
crazy, people don't take her seriously when they should after last night, but they don't, they look at her as like a doofus.
Yeah, and in last night's episode she said something about that, how that was her game. Like she wants to sort of fly under the radar and pull the strings. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I thought it was hilarious how Liz or whoever it was told her how to vote or whatever, how they were all going to vote, and just because like that's what she told her to do, Debbie was like, yeah, I'm going to not do that. I'm going to do the opposite.
Yeah, she's
just because she didn't want to, be someone's soldier.
Yeah, she really pops in the confessionals now. I mean,
yeah,
it's good. Good stuff.
She's gold. She's TV gold.
Yeah. So the
shirt she was wearing was TV gold. Did you see that thing? Was it?
Oh yeah, it was like a '90s like.
Was it snow leopard?
It was like pink snow leopard or something, wasn't it?
It was like
colored?
gold leopard and snow leopard. It was like fading one into the other.
Yeah, that'll have to make up for the no tiger swimsuit.
I think we should rate every episode as a tier 1, 2, or 3 episode.
Okay. That's a legit thing to do.
Let's make that happen.
I can dig that.
Tier 1.
Let's talk about that challenge real quick. It was I was very excited at the end there. I love those close. I mean, it's probably edited to look closer than it is, but still it works every time on me because I mean, what a huge difference it makes if Bronze goes back again or Brains goes for the first time.
I thought for sure Braun was going to lose. Like I was shocked that they didn't lose.
Yeah. It looked like. Do you guys think that ball challenge would be difficult? I mean, a lot of those guys out there were making it look super easy.
I would get super stressed out. I would be good at it.
Yeah. Because it's such like fine motor movement, like one little slip and it goes through the hole, and if you're not like focused and you're panicking, it'd be very hard.
Yeah, and you guys got to balance on the thing while you're moving the pulleys or whatever. I think it would be.
For me.
I thought it looked really hard, but I mean at the same time you got to wonder how all these people are doing so well at it. It must be easy. It must be easier than it looks. That's what I think. I don't know.
Did you watch Big Brother 16? You guys?
No.
Well, there was an episode where Frankie. You guys know Frankie, right? Frankie Grande.
Oh yeah.
Frankie, it was the week they were going to vote Frankie out, and they had to play the Battle of the Block, and they were throwing it, so he would lose and then they could vote him out. And Caleb was his partner, Caleb from Survivor. And he decided, sorry, Frankie, I can't help you, and he just sat his ass down and didn't participate, and it was a challenge exactly like that one with the balls, where you maneuver it through the holes.
Yes.
Yeah, he didn't play. And Frankie
he sat down. I heard it actually made it easier for Frankie, though, because it's harder to do it with 2 people than it is to do it by yourself.
Yeah, and that's why people were saying it was rigged for Frankie Grande, because he was like the darling of that season. So.
Yeah, I could see that.
People didn't really like him, did they?
Not in that season.
The producers did.
Oh, Frankie, I'm sorry.
The producers, because he brought attention to the show, but the fans didn't know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry I mentioned Frankie. I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, let's not talk about him anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just talked about Frankie for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was 5 minutes wasted on Frankie Grande.
Tier 3, Aiden. Tier 3.
Can we talk about how kick-ass, Caleb's tribe is? That tribe.
Yeah.
That tribe is dominant. They're crushing it. They had no problem with that challenge. They were the first one done by a long shot.
They're the real brawn. Brawn.
Yeah, for sure.
They're not beautiful.
Yeah, they are. Shut up. They are too.
No.
Okay, so you see Caleb. Caleb has a beautiful face. I don't care who you are.
Okay, I can.
Like
My
Little Pony.
I can see where Cass.
My Little Ponies are beautiful.
I mean, since we're so good looking, we can mock these people. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
you got Nick is not that good looking. I mean,
Nick is full on beautiful, like the
no.
whole package
Yeah,
beautiful.
but his personality makes him
Yeah, but
like
I'm
ugly.
not
It
talking
really
about
does.
that.
I think he's got a funny looking face, kind of.
He does. He has a crooked nose.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw something
And-
on Twitter
And
that it
Caleb's.
was.
Sorry,
Oh
go
God,
on.
what was it? I saw
Go
something
ahead.
on Twitter. It was it was somebody plus John Ralphio from Parks and Rec equals Nick from Survivor, and I forget who the first person was, but it made total sense.
Well, you got to write these things down, Katie.
Yeah.
You're a professional now.
It's meaningless if you don't get the other person.
But you can see the John Ralphio thing, right?
But yeah,
is that?
Anna. Hey, Anna. She's got huge boobs, but she's
They're
not that.
giant boobs.
She's not that good looking. I mean, does that make her beautiful because her boobs are gigantic? I guess.
I think
Some
so.
people.
Apparently it
yes.
does. Okay.
Mhm.
And then
Wasn't the last beauty tribe had a big boob girl too?
Morgan.
Oh,
Her
Morgan,
last
that's
name
right.
was McGee, so you could actually call her Tits McGee because that was her last name.
That's hilarious. Oh my god. But yeah, you can actually.
And Ty. What's beautiful about Ty?
Everything.
Well, yeah. He is
Yeah.
a beautiful soul.
Very much so. Yeah.
Yes. Are we going like metaphorical though? I didn't think that was the case with the tribes being split up this
Well,
way.
I mean-
They were gonna use metaphors.
If you know your Survivor backstory stuff, you know that basically the last time they tried to cast based on a theme was Blood versus Water 2, which was, in my opinion, the worst season. I don't like that season very much. Maybe not the worst season, but one of them. What's that?
No.
Blood versus Water 2 was like John and Jacqueline and Missy and Baylor and Drew and Alec and all these just duds. But
Yeah, Jeremy.
that they casted that season based on
The theme.
and not just like, oh, here's a good group of people, let's sort them out. That's what they did this time. They learned their lesson. They basically cast these characters and started sorting them into tribes as best they could, and that's why they had to squeeze Ty in based on.
I was like leftovers, so they're
Yeah.
But his insides are far more beautiful than anybody else on that tribe's outsides.
I agree. I mean, so it does work. It works.
And Alicia shouldn't be on the Braun tribe, but well, I don't know where you're gonna put her.
She can't be on brains.
No.
She should have
She
been
could be
on
on
Beauty.
Beauty.
She should have been Beauty.
I think the girls on Beauty are smarter than her.
Right. I think they used her history, her backstory of how she's like swam with sharks and
Douchey hipster teenage trips.
yeah, probably like where she had like some guy standing next to her watching everything, protecting her while she did this stuff, you know.
She has the word audacious tattooed on her lip.
Well, that's pretty brawny.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
So she's legit.
All right, I think it's a good time to talk about idols. Let's talk about idols.
What's with a super idol? How's it even gonna work?
It's gonna be like a million stars aligning to ever actually work. It's not gonna work.
Well, my thought was like, I feel like you almost have to out yourself as having an idol to get it to work, because you have to like be like, hey, got an idol? Because super idol, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole thing. I think it encourages. Whereas last season, every single idol was completely kept under wraps all season. This season, it might be the complete opposite, where other people know about idols.
You know what they should do? Is give the people with idols some sort of like instruction to like add a challenge or whatever, like to like do a certain hand signal or like stand in a certain spot so they can know that the other one has the idol too if they see the other doing it.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I could dig that.
I don't think it's meant to be shared like between tribes.
Okay. Well, you guys talked about the stars having to align for this to work. Don't you think on Bronze Tribe the stars kind of aligned? I mean, you got Jason got the idol, and he happens to be in a strong pair with Scott, who basically read it with him and realizes they can get a super idol if he finds his own idol.
But do you really think that Jason's gonna wait for Scott? Like, you think he's gonna care? Like,
No.
that's his idol. I don't think he's holding out for
so negative about the super idol. It's harsh in my mellow.
Because I don't understand how it's ever gonna work. Because
you don't think that Kyle and Scott like have a pretty
will now look
good
for
opportunity?
another one?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, they will, but a swap is coming soon, and they could get split up, and then what the hell is the point of it?
Yeah, good point.
They won't just like quit being friends because they're on different tribes.
They won't quit being friends, but they're gonna have to survive on their own tribes.
Yeah, I mean Kyle will.
Or maybe they'll end up together. They could possibly end up on a tribe together. Lord knows that's happened many times. But I'm just saying, Jason's not the kind of person. He's not the person I'd want to have my trust in to make this super idol thing happen.
Yeah, he pretty much like just took over the idol hunt and was like, "Well, guess I better go get my idol now."
I love if you compare the two ways like the idols were found. Like Jason was just this giant bully, like this is my idol. Whenever it gets found, it's mine. And then Ty is like doing it by himself, and he's like, "Oh, this is the best moment of my life." And Jeff made it so hard for me, and it was just so sweet. It's like
he literally hugs the tree.
Yeah.
Thank you, tree, for helping me get that idol.
Maybe Ty and Jason will team up with their idols.
Hey.
There you go. That'd be an even odder pair than Ty and Caleb.
That would be friggin' awesome. Yeah. I would dig it.
I would be very concerned for Ty if his hands were in, or if his fate was in Jason's hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, touche.
Well, I think it's crazy how the Braun tribe just, well, some people just have that way. Like, people just let
bounty
them
hunters.
Be leader and like, and they just are like, well, my fate's in your hands. And they don't even, like, seem to care.
Yeah.
Well, Alicia, I mean, what could she have done? I mean, she was so, like, Alicia's dumbness was on full display last night. But at the same time, like, I didn't understand, like, what could she have done to stop it from happening in front of her? You know?
She should have been more aggressive about it, I think. She really got pushed around by Sydney there. Sydney's like, "Oh, they're watching us."
Sydney was a baller last night.
Yeah, well, kind of a
she
jerk.
did kind of just give up. She was like, "Hey guys, we found
no.
Go get it."
Listen though, she needed to do that because I think they were kind of concerned that she was with Alicia, and this way she made herself she made it sure that she was in good with them. But Alicia, at the same time, kind of trusts her, too, because she played it off like, oh, they saw us, there's nothing I could have done.
Yeah.
But I think
why does Sydney want to be in good with these guys? I mean, like, these guys are dicks.
But she doesn't like Alicia. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Who does she have to choose from on her tribe? I mean, she wants to make sure she's in a thriesome. If they merge or swap, she's got to have people.
My only other thought was, like, hey, get that idol. And then you can force a 2-2 split and get like Jason out of the game, one of the biggest threats. I mean, that guy is obviously going far if you let him. Don't even let him.
I don't think they're thinking that way at this point. At the time they're looking for the idol, they've only gotten rid of 2 people. They're not thinking about that. They should.
No, I agree. It's the whole too early for big moves thing. But I mean, with guys like Jason, I feel like you really do kind of got to think about big moves with him early. He's just like a huge threat. Huge threat.
He's going to be target number 1 once they all come together, if he makes it that far.
Number 1? Yeah. No way.
Who else? I mean, who else would be on the block if they merge? If they merged right now,
Nick won't make it to the merge. Nick's going to be gone before the merge. But those girls on Beauty and Ty and Caleb, if they survive intact numbers-wise, I mean, they're not going to... They'll run it.
Yeah. My only thought was, let's say 2 of the girls from Beauty end up on the... Let's say it's a 7-7 split. 4 beauties go to one side. 2 girls go to the other, and they're the odd ones out, and they vote a beauty girl out based on weakness and challenges. Then you're already starting to knock out the beauty girls. That's the only way I can see it happen.
Yeah, that could certainly happen.
And that's the thing with this show that I feel like has become more of a thing. Like, people love to change their alliances. Like, no one wants to stay in the same alliance the whole time. People love to switch.
Yeah, that's old school Survivor. Now they have voting blocks or voting units.
Yeah.
As Peter called it last night. Oh my God, I have to say, I was listening to the Fishback and Rob podcast last night, and Stephen Fishback, while I love him, was like, "Oh, there's a difference between voting units and voting blocks," and I'm like,
Don't
"What
you
are
think he
talking
was?
about?"
Don't you think he was joking?
No!
I thought he was joking. He's like, just because they have the word voting in them doesn't mean they're the same thing.
No, he explained the difference.
He had to have been joking because
No,
it
he wasn't.
is apparent that there is no difference between voting
No,
blocks and voting
go back and
voting
listen
units.
to it. He, with all seriousness, explained the difference between a voting
Yeah.
block and a voting unit.
If he was friggin' serious, I lose a little bit of respect for that guy because if he can't see that that's
What
the same
garbage
thing,
that is?
that they're the same thing, then he is not a know-it-all. I tell you. I tell you
Sorry,
what.
rant over.
Yeah.
Continue.
But man, we kind of derailed a train of thought. I feel like we were
We're
on
talking
something.
about
We were ranking
Oh.
the beauty people.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
Ty has a beautiful soul. Caleb is okay.
Oh,
That was like an hour.
that was a long time ago. But we can go back to that if
We
you
didn't
want to.
finish, but okay, whatever.
Okay, I feel like Michelle is the most beautiful of the girls, which is a very beautiful
Yeah.
thing.
I don't even
Yeah.
know which one is which.
She's the dark-haired
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Michelle's going far.
Yeah, definitely.
Put money on it.
Yeah.
Who's gonna go far in brains?
Neil. Debbie.
Debbie.
think?
I'm on the Debbie train now. Like,
You don't think once they merge, she'll annoy people again and
nah, she'll float under the radar now. I mean, she's made it past the point. She was at the most risk early on to be the annoying first vote person. Like, that person's annoying. Let's vote for them. Easy vote.
Yeah.
But now I think she'll kind of blend in. She'll blend in. She'll be annoying, but she won't be a threat to people, I don't think.
yeah.
So I have a lot more faith in her now. Neil, I still feel like the way that his whole tribe saw him as a potential target, the way Peter and Liz saw him as a target, I think everyone else in the game is going to feel the same way about him. So he is definitely in danger now. I feel like.
I don't know. Once he pairs up with other groups of people, and he's in with Joe and Debbie and Aubrey, I don't know. I think it might not be as cut and dry as all that.
Okay. I just have a tough time seeing Neil really ingratiate himself.
You
with
just really
groups.
want Neil to go home. David picks Neil to win, and every week he's like, Neil's going home.
To leave.
That's just how I am. I'm like, it's over. It's done.
Neil's not going anywhere. Calm down.
We'll see. What else can we talk about? Maybe talk about Ty and the chicken and Ty, the Thai chicken.
I didn't watch them kill the chicken. I couldn't do
They
it.
didn't show it.
They never
They did?
show it. No,
Oh,
didn't show
I never watched, so I would never know.
I don't think they can show that, like murder,
No.
animal murder.
They play the sound and show people's reactions, but I don't think they can show cutting
Did
a...
Ty, was he the one to kill it?
No, he held it, though.
He held it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought he would want to be the one to kill it, so he knew it would be done humanely and correctly and all that.
He helped, but he didn't
helped.
Caleb swung the axe thing or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
But
yeah,
yeah,
that kind of led to the ultimate Nick being outed as the odd man out. I feel like the chicken incident led to it because he was so cold about it.
Yeah, he was insensitive.
Yeah, he was so insensitive that the girls were like, I mean, obviously they haven't really felt good about him all along, but that was the thing in the edit they could show us and be like, look, this guy's not fitting in. Watch for him to be.
And it kind of showed me, because in his pregame stuff, he was like, I'm such a good listener, or at least I can pretend to be, but it shows that he wasn't that good at pretending to be sensitive to Ty, So I'm really doubting his own, his ability to pretend to be nice.
Life coach.
I mean, you have to have somewhat of emotions to be a life coach, don't you? Or understand emotions?
I feel like Nick has like a million different jobs, and that's just the one that he.
One of which is an actor.
Yeah, and he used to write for RHAP or whatever. So I think he has a million different jobs, and that's just the one they tagged him with for the show this season.
Because that's most likely what a beautiful person would do. Something vapid like that. A life
exactly.
coach.
I think he's a jack of all trades person.
Yeah.
Um,
Me too.
what else, you guys? I mean, I feel like we've covered quite a bit. Maybe there's a little bit more to be said about the Brains, kind of the scrambling going on the Brains tribe, and how those voting units are shaken out.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that it's just pairs. I listened to an exit interview with Liz today, and she said that it was Peter and Liz that were a pair, Debbie and Joe became a pair, so Neil and Aubrey just became a pair kind of out of default.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So, but it seems like, I mean, they make sense as a pair too. So, I mean,
Yeah,
all of those
yeah,
pairs make sense.
yeah.
I'd like to see where more where Aubrey's head's at because we don't hear a lot from her. I know she doesn't like Peter, which is easy to understand,
Mhm.
but that's really it.
I get the sense that she's just really, really struggling with
Mm.
really struggling out there with the physical aspect of it, and it's like a real detriment to her gameplay because
Okay.
she's kind of left with no energy to actually play the game. She's like, I'm just gonna try and get through this shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That'd be me. I'd be like, get away from me.
Exactly.
Not talking about any game with you.
I
So
know.
fun to sit back and be like, oh, I could totally do this. I could play this game, but I can pretty much guarantee I'd be one of those people. I mean, who knows? But I could see myself as being like the way I think Aubrey is right now, just kind of like struggling physically so bad that she can't even get her head in the game, you know. So
Yeah.
it depends. I feel like if you know you're gonna go out there, you really gotta prepare yourself for it.
You know, I thought in the challenge, I thought they would let them take those bags of rice back to their camp for
I
food.
know.
If they're able to keep them dry, you know? Because I bet they were like, oh, damn, that's a lot of rice. That'd be great.
Neil
That's a
said
lot
that
of
he
rice.
Neil said that he stuffed some in his ice cream pants and took some back.
What are
Uh-huh.
the ice cream pants? I don't understand what that is.
His
They
pants
zoom.
have ice cream cones on them.
Yeah,
Oh, I
they
didn't
finally.
know.
I was wondering the same thing, but they finally zoomed in on his pants during the tribal council and showed the little ice cream cones on there. It's pretty funny. What else, you guys? Any other thoughts you want to share?
What do you think about Scott's position? Did he kind of, I mean, did he go down a notch after that tribal council? Like, because he wouldn't write Jen's name down? Should he have written her name down? Like,
Yeah, that was kind of dumb. You can't be loyal to a fault. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, he did.
gotta,
He
reason's
Alicia.
gotta come into it at some point.
Yeah, Alicia was right that. I mean, why would you do that? I mean, that's a stupid person calling you stupid, and that's bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, why would you do that when you know she's out anyways? You might as well keep the people in the game happy with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right? Jen's gone. Doesn't matter what she thinks anymore. She's not even on the jury. That's what I was thinking. I
Yeah.
was like, he's trying to get jury votes, and she's not even on the jury. Like,
Like, do you care so much about the friendship you forged with this person after 6 days that you won't write her name down?
yeah,
Seriously?
you're willing to risk $1 million for it?
Yeah, kind of
Yeah,
dumb.
I liked Scott. I have liked Scott up to this point, but I don't know that that was very smart.
He played for the Kings.
Yeah, a lot. Well, he played for a lot of teams.
Yeah,
No,
he played
I mean, he mainly played for the Kings, though. Me and Katie were huge
Mainly?
Kings fans back in the
I don't
day.
know about mainly.
I think mainly.
No,
Look it up.
no.
I really
Like
don't know.
7 years.
Yeah, I
I
don't
know
think he
he,
played
uh,
for the Kings when we liked the Kings.
What?
I don't think he played for the Kings when we liked the Kings.
Yes, he did. I remember him.
I know he won
Oh.
a championship with the Boston Celtics. That's all. I
Yeah,
know.
2008, and then he retired. He finally got his ring. I don't know how much he
Yeah,
contributed.
after he played with the
And then he retired.
Kings. And after we stopped watching basketball.
I still watch basketball. Speak for
Oh.
yourself, homie.
All right, you two, break it up. Let's get back to Survivor talk.
Well, what haven't we talked about? We talked about Beauty and the chicken incident and Ty finding the idol. Oh, the girls decided to invite Caleb into their alliance.
Yes.
Was that a smart idea?
No.
Why?
Because
What's
Caleb's
happening?
dumb and he'll turn on them the first chance he gets.
No, he won't.
Because he doesn't know any better.
Caleb
Hey.
will not turn on anyone. Caleb is the loyalist person, like
Ever.
out there probably.
Ever.
Because I saw him play another reality show game where he
Oh.
was loyal and dumb. and was playing for Derek to win, basically.
Mm.
I mean, what's your other option, Ty? I feel like Ty is less trustworthy, honestly.
Well, yeah, he obviously is.
Shady with that idol business.
And then Nick is
Yeah.
definitely the least trustworthy of the bunch. So
No,
Yeah.
Caleb was definitely the way to go. I think they made the right call there.
Yeah,
But I
it's
think
just
Ty is next. Nick's the first to go, so it could be those 5. But
yeah, yeah. I think it's the right move. What's that?
Who's gonna get hurt next week?
Yeah, I think we should get into that. We've pretty much covered the episode pretty well, so maybe we should get into talking about the medevac next week and what we think is going to happen with that.
Jeff Probst said it might be the most dramatic episode they've ever done.
Yikes! Wow.
Whoa.
Okay. Well, I do get the sense. I watched the preview for next week very carefully, and I feel like I'm not spoiling anything because
It's investigative work. It's not fact.
yeah, and you guys saw the same preview I saw. I mean, it's like not like I went off of anything other than what everyone has seen, right? So it appears that there's 2 different people that are on the ground at some point.
Maybe they have a collision and they knock each other out.
But
could be.
they're digging. They're digging, see? That's when it happens. They're digging for something.
They're digging?
Yeah,
They're digging.
Yeah, and I'm leaning more towards like heat exhaustion, like what happened to Russell Swan. Basically, this is going to happen to at least 2 of the people out there. I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll just be crazy, and there'll be like more than 2 people dropping like flies. But I'm thinking there's at least 2, and from what I can tell, one of them is on the Brains tribe, but the hand they show looks like Dr. Obama's hand. So,
Really?
Yeah, so it could definitely be Dr. Obama. That's just based on the hand they showed. Who knows what that hand was doing there?
Just because it's that person's hand doesn't mean that person gets evacuated.
Exactly. It could be Obama's hand sitting next to, whoever is hurt. Also, the second hand. Well, there's more to this one, but I'm really leaning heavily towards Caleb being the other medevac.
What? But
Yeah.
he's a beast.
Fittest guys out there.
Sometimes I look at Russell Swan, man. I mean, sometimes the bigger, more muscular guys have the toughest time out there. There was actually this is kind of disturbing, but in Survivor France, there was a man who actually died on the show.
That would never happen in America. We're not as laissez-faire about things here.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. I think we're a lot more careful, but I mean, it looks like shit's getting real in this episode.
I'm gonna predict that it's Grandpa Joe. I mean, maybe that's obvious, but I'm predicting Grandpa's going home.
It could be, yeah. It's a brain hand that I saw, like, because there's a brain buff, a blue buff with a dark hand kind of sitting there.
I think it's Debbie.
Could be. Who knows?
Debbie has the immune system of a horse.
Yeah,
she's not
yeah.
going anywhere.
She's got a strong mind too, very powerful
Love
mind.
Debbie now.
But Caleb, it would explain, Ty crying a lot.
Ty would cry no matter who it is.
Yeah, but it sure looks like, if you watch the preview, that the beauty tribe is gathered. They're all gathered around. It's just the beauty tribe gathered around one person, and I see Nick standing. I see girls standing. We know Ty's fine. So who does that leave? I mean, pretty much just Caleb. And
If it happens to Caleb, then he must get hurt or something, because I can't see him like getting exhausted. Because in those challenges, he demolishes everybody. Like, he has so much energy. He runs out there. That's why they killed the chicken, was for the protein, so they'd have energy and stuff.
It's heat exhaustion. I mean, you can't explain.
Yeah,
everybody's body's different. I mean, like I said, this guy in France that died, he looked like the fittest dude you've ever seen in your life. Like,
well, Joe passed out last season, much to Cassie's delight.
There's just a limit to this stuff, but yeah. So based on what I saw, I'm thinking it's Dr. Obama and Caleb, but that's just me. And I only think I'm gonna guess that Caleb is the one medevaced, and Obama is okay, but he just.
Wouldn't that just be the way that before the season I was all down on Caleb, and now I'm kind of, I'm not
And
rooting for him, but I like him, and then he just
Yeah.
gets medevaced.
Yeah, that would suck. I mean, I agree, but that's what I see just watching the preview. I don't know for sure. So
I
what do you
guess
guys think?
Grandpa Joe or Aubrey. I think we're only getting one medevac, but
Okay, cool. What do you think about if there is a medevac? Will there be a tribal council this episode? Will they have the medevac challenge early on and have a medevac, and then maybe go into a tribe swap next week immediately after the medevac? Or will it just
I
be a
don't know.
whole...
It's hard to imagine that the medevac thing would take the whole episode, but just judging by what Jeff Probst said about how dramatic and compelling it is, it's hard to see them doing anything else. Like maybe the person's really seriously
Yeah,
hurt.
it
I
could
don't
be.
know.
Yeah, it could be an entire episode devoted to the carnage of the brutal
Yeah.
conditions in the medevacs.
I can see that being the case, actually.
Yeah, I could see that too, which is
You
kind of...
forgot to ask Cassie who she predicts is getting medevaced.
I said Debbie.
Oh,
Okay.
what?
You didn't think I was
No.
serious? I'm dead serious.
No.
She's
She's not going anywhere.
her arm is skinny and it could be mistaken for a man's arm.
Yeah, but you got, like, oh, I thought you were saying something else. But the guys, like, who are bulky and try to be bulky, I feel are more in danger than, like, skinny girls.
Okay. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Does that make sense?
No, I agree.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're saying no tribal, just medevacs, and that's who we think is going.
Well, we all think different people are going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
that's good. It's more fun that way.
We'll be surprised.
Yeah, exactly. So is that it? Is that everything?
That would appear to be everything.
Something.
What's that,
I
Cass?
feel like we're missing something.
If you guys want to keep going, I'd like to hear you guys sell me on Neil one more time. I mean, tell me why Neil is why I'm not wrong about Neil, or why I wasn't wrong about
Why
him.
you are wrong about Neil?
Well, I am wrong about him now, but I was right about him before.
He's smart. And he didn't get shook when Peter tried to go after him in Tribal Council. He held his ground, and he came back at him, and people like him. He's a likable guy.
Yeah.
So I think people will want to keep him around.
He didn't let himself get probsted
Yeah.
like Peter did.
Yep. He kept his cool. He does
Mhm.
seem to have a pretty good grasp on keeping his cool, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
He's
Peter
quiet.
crumbled. Neil did not.
Yeah.
right.
He's a silent killer.
And he seems to know who are, like, have a good intuition about people and who is good to be aligned with and who's not, like, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there was a chance before the vote actually happened, before Tribal Council happened, there was a chance that he could go into Tribal being so naive, because before he wanted to be force strong with the young people, and he could go into that Tribal Council believing that he's still good with them and we're voting out old people, we're voting out Joe, but he figured it out really fast. I mean, maybe even before Tribal Council, but not that
Debbie
Peter...
told him. Let's
Oh,
give
yeah.
Debbie some props.
Yeah, Debbie did
yeah,
fill him in,
Debbie.
but I mean, he doesn't necessarily have to believe her. He could see her as desperate, but I mean,
Yeah.
like you guys said, I think Neil is he can read people pretty well. He knew it was true, so props to him on that. So
Hmm.
Yeah, I think Neil's going to be around for a while. So,
I hope so.
unlike our girl picks, me and David, our two girl picks were the first two girls voted out of the game.
yeah,
Really?
Good for us.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
didn't have a girl pick.
Well,
Cassie picked the winner last season.
Hmm.
yes, she did.
She picked Jeremy to win. Oh yeah, that's who won. I mean, obviously. Yeah, Cassie, did you have a winner pick at the start of the season? Like
I
who's
Hey,
your
you can't pick now.
Jason?
No, I picked
right.
Jason.
She did.
yeah,
She,
sure.
Yeah, I
she picked Jason
Kyle.
from the start.
Jason.
What do you think of
He's working on
Jason's?
pretty well.
Yeah, you feel good about him?
He's a little more aggressive than I probably would have expected, or I didn't really realize, you know,
The
he would be
extent.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but for the most part, I think he's good. I think he's a natural leader, and people, you know, respect him and fear him. And
Can be a good thing.
I'm surprised Braun is doing so badly at the challenges, and that's not good. Like, why do you think they have struggled so much in the challenges? Like, what is it
I've
about
heard that their beach is shit. Like, I think they're at the Angkor beach from Cambodia, the same beach. Remember how bad Angkor was?
Oh yeah, I did hear that. Yeah.
I think they have a shitty living situation.
That sucks.
They got
Yeah.
bugs crawling in their ears and stuff, so
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
That's part of it, but I do feel like the other two tribes are just really coming together too. I mean, Beauty Tribe obviously, and Brains.
Beauty's pretty unstoppable, and then it's always close. Like, it's not like Braun's
Yeah.
getting blown out of the water.
No,
It's always
no.
really close. But
If last week, if Scott does a better job of knocking down those things,
Yeah.
they're not going to tribal. So it's
That's true.
it's been
It was
really close.
every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just bad luck on their part.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes, I mean, this is a professional athlete we're talking about having trouble knocking these things down. I mean, sometimes
Yeah.
it's just lucky shots versus unlucky
Mhm.
shots, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you think
So-
the tides are turning for Braun then? You think they're gonna
Well-
start winning now?
Well, Catie predicts a tribe swap at 14 people, and
you got to do it at 14, right? You can't do it at 12. That seems like too small tribes to go down to.
yeah, 7 and 7. So
Yeah.
that's 14. We're already down, what, 3 people?
Yeah, next week someone's going home.
If someone goes home
Medically.
next week, what are we down to then? People
14.
numbers.
So after that, I think it'll be a swap.
So yeah, if I don't think the bronze will have to worry so much because from what it looks like, it's a brain and a beauty going down next week.
Mhm.
So bronze are good. Those 4 are making it to a swap, and we'll see what happens from there.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Alrighty then, guys. I think that'll do it for this episode of TV is Our Real Mom. Cassie, thank you for joining us. We hope to have you on again in the future.
Okay.
Awesome. I hope you had a good time.
I did. It was fun.
Yes, indeed. All right, we will see you guys next time.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Have a good
Bye.
night.